Terry, Michael, Travis, and Christine. Oh, my thing is right there. All right, here you go. Terry. Okay, so my speech is kind of on just like how my son was born and how it changed my life. So it's a narrative speech, so it's about my experience. So here it goes. When children are born into the world, parents' lives go upside down. It's the day we no longer only care for ourselves, but the day we care for a little human being. On October 11th, 2013, my son was born. That was our days. Our lives would actually never be the same. We realized we would not just be caring for ourselves, but a family of three. I know a lot of families that have gone through childbirth more than once. I've had the opportunity to experience how life changes so fast. It's a day filled with happiness, pain, and shock. I'm sharing my story to give an insight on how my life changed when he was born. So the first stage of my life-changing journey was my son's birth on October 10th, or 11th in this case. I remember checking into the hospital the day before, which was October 11th, and just kept thinking that this is it. My husband and I would no longer be two. We would soon have a third, a baby boy. As I was in the delivery room waiting for my labor to start, I started to think how my previous life would not be the same. I would not only care for myself. My mind was racing with thoughts of our new future. My husband was assuring me everything would be fine. I can tell he was thinking the same as I was. My sister was at the hospital too. She had been there with me for a while. She knew how worried I was. She also told me it would be fine. She would be there for me to help me. So she's been through this 3 times. It was early morning of October 11th. I was still waiting for my contractions. I knew once the contractions started, I was closer to meeting my son. As I was thinking about my son's arrival with the months leading up to all of this, I really wasn't thinking about meeting him. I was actually thinking about the big moment. I was thinking about what crib to get, how to decorate his room, what clothes to get. I never really thought how big it was going to change and impact my husband's and my life. It was hard to wrap my head around the whole thing. I didn't have a plan of attack. I wasn't sure how everything was going to be planned. I would just have to go along and look for support for my husband. This was our first child. We didn't really have much experience, and we didn't have a book with all the answers. It was like we had to write a book on our own. With all the thinking and trying to figure out everything, it was already mid-morning. About 10 o'clock, my contractions had begun. Reality had settled in. My husband and I knew it was time to face reality. As then came to my labor, it was time to meet my son. It was time to meet the new future. I knew that birth would not be easy, but what I wasn't sure was how hard it would be to be a parent. My world would not be the same. Everything was tying up. It was time to push and give birth. It was time to grow up. As everything was happening, I had my husband by my side comforting me. I could see how worried he was and about what was in store for us. He was not alone in this life-changing experience. By 4 o'clock on October 11th, 2013, my son was finally born. I felt a whole new world open right before my eyes. We didn't have any words. It was all smiles and full of love. My husband couldn't believe he was a dad, and I couldn't believe I was a mom. It was in just 24 hours. As I come to a close, I thought of our life. To welcome a little baby boy to the world is a lot to take in. With the support of my husband, I know I can get through this journey. In 24 hours, I went from caring for myself to caring for my son. I became a mother that would love and care for him. I will teach him right from wrong, guide him, and be his strength when he needs it. My husband and I went from 2 to 3. We became a family.